Communication, communication, communication. Can I say that enough? I apologize for being repetitive, but it's really that serious. Is communication in our business. It's interesting where this comes from is last week. So I'll tell you this quick story. Last week I was doing one of my one-on-one Zoom calls, and the client that I was talking to, I was asking this person. I said, "Hey, so when that online request comes in to help the customer, are you making the first communication, or is it the assistant over there?" And she was like, "I don't know. Like I thought it was like, what do you mean you don't know?" I was like, "Well, I thought they were supposed to do this." And it was like, "Well," I said, "I thought you were supposed to do this." And it was like, I really don't know. And I started thinking about like the communication needs to be so tight, especially right now. Communication has to be so tight that everybody understands exactly what needs to be done 100% of the time. And then it needs to be reviewed to make sure that the communication is being executed. And that's a whole nother topic right there. But communication is so important right now, that making sure that everybody understands what needs to be done. The next piece of communication that I wanted to talk about is this communication, because it goes hand in hand with that situation, but it's something that's passionate to me, and it's communication about the customer interaction in the CRM. Communication is going to be so important about the conversation that whoever talked to that customer first needs to be communicated to the upper management and whoever else is going to deal with that communication in store. So let me break this down a little bit more. Some dealerships, as you know, like there's no perfect plan, but some dealerships have internet sales team. Some of them have a BDC. Some of them just have a sales team where it's just one person from beginning to end. No matter how you operate, communication is so important. One, communication and making sure that stuff all flows into the CRM. But two, making sure that the right people that are going to be engaging with that customer have the right communication in there, and they can communicate with that customer and pick up where the conversation left off. So even if it's one person working the whole way through, you still need to put your communication in your CRM, because you're going to forget about all the stuff that happened from that conversation. So it has to go in the CRM. But at least you can kind of recall that conversation when the customer comes in. You're like, "Oh yeah, I remember." But when an internet team or a BDC sales team gets the customer, they're talking, they're having the conversation, customer talked about a couple hot buttons or whatever, and then the customer shows up and they start the conversation over because there was no communication with management. Management wasn't communicating to the internet team or to the salesperson. It gets nasty, right? For lack of, that's a horrible word to use, but that's the only one that came to my mind right there. Nasty. So communicate to keep the process clean. So I'll say it again, communicate, over communicate, put processes in place to make sure that you're constantly communicating, because if there's gonna cause friction for your customers, imagine what it's doing for you as an employee. Like both of you guys are like, "Man, this is an awkward little experience." So communication, communication, communication. So I just want to give that out as a reminder. If you don't have the proper communication set up, you need to make sure that you have the right communication guidelines set up to where you create a smooth process, not just for your customers, but also for your employees. So over communicate, y'all. I promise you to help. Sounds simple, but it's getting dropped all the time. Right?